Okay, so it's now recording. Uh, so I think I mentioned last time, I think in a few weeks ago, that your final project was supposed to be a brand playbook kasi it's supposed to be connected to the last two modules, which is about brand development and public relations. But upon your comments that na observations ninyo that this subject is overlapping with some of the topics of your MA 310. Uh, I've reached out to Miss Nani and we met last Thursday and discussed potential collaboration. So that yung final output ninyo with her, with MA 310 will be aligned with what you're going to submit as your final output for uh, this subject. So, ganun na yun. So, and I believe yung nasa inyong brief for that particular MA310 is the Datu Puti client na which was given to you by I believe Sir Zhao, di ba? So for this particular uh, reimagining of your final project, so this is the first time na iibahin natin dito, no? So instead of a brand playbook, I will ask you now to uh, come up with a script and storyboard for the Datu Puti campaign that you're going to submit for your MA310. So so I think ang magja-judge din naman nung brief ninyo sa MA310 is that agency executive creative director who's Sir Zhao, no? So ang ang mangyayari, isa lang yung client na natin ngayon for both MA310 and MA107. Uh, kumbaga magkaiba lang yung direction under that same campaign. So if in your MA310, you're building the big idea, which is creating, producing an integrated marketing campaign. At least naging practice na ninyo yung midterms, no, with MA107. Dito naman sa atin, you will focus on a more detailed writing and storyboarding of the assets that you will use for that campaign. So again, I think you're just a review nung brief ninyo, no? So Dato Puti is the number one suka in the Philippines, classic and trusted, but new international and local vinegars are tempting millennial home cooks. So nagmumukha ngayong old yung brand. So the communication problem now is show that Dato Puti is classic and trusted, but it still belongs in the modern lives of those millennial home cooks, no? So ang communication message or the single-minded, clear message that we want to bring forward in your campaign and in the scripts that you will be submitting for MA107 is that Datu Puti vinegar makes your modern home cooking and home meals exciting. So, yan yung gusto nating iparating. Uh, and the reason to believe is that it's expertly made to have the right asim sarap that elevates any home cooked meal. So yun yung parang proof of concept, no? So the target market, based on the communication problem presented by the client is, of course, the millennial home cooks. So sino na ba ngayon ng mga millennials considering that age group? Marami sa kanila kaedad ko kasi because I'm a millennial. So I think I'm in the older millennial bracket. Pero meron ding younger millennials pa. So mostly we're professionals already. And so many of us are doing home cooking, no? So and the budget is open for proposal. But I think doon na ninyo yan ipe-present sa campaign. So your mission, not for MA310, but for MA107 is to write and storyboard the video executions of your campaign. So kung ano man yung assets in your integrated marketing campaign that would involve any video component, then uh, you will have to write and storyboard them into scripts and storyboards. Yeah. So, and there will be two different executions, no? So, for the first execution is your hero asset. I'm not sure kasi actually hindi ko din sure kung lahat ba kayo will have a hero asset that's a video format. But in this case siguro, uh, sabihin na natin kung magkakaroon kayo ng lead video or commercial or film output, then that would be your execution A na naka two-column AV format and storyboard. And then the second one is for your social media or new media output. No? So whether it's TikTok, Reels, or YouTube, uh, so yun, magkakaroon din siya ng sarili niyang script and also a storyboard. So dalawa ang isasubmit ninyo basically. Now, is everyone are all groups in MA310 going to have uh, a TV commercial as part of your campaign? Just so I have an idea. Meron dito sa inyo na hindi mag-TV commercial as part of your campaign? Anyone? Meron po sa amin. So, lahat naman meron? Walang hindi gagawa ng TV commercial? So, in that sense, then pasok tong requirements na ito na sinet ko dito na dalawa. Isang script and storyboard for a TV commercial or a film commercial and isang script and storyboard for a new media asset like TikTok, Reels, or YouTube. So, uh, and also, when you submit this alongside in one deck, no, so please include also an alignment slide, no, so how it connects to your MA310 idea. No? And if there's an AI disclosure, please also include it if there was a part of your process that used AI. No? And also a slide that identifies the specific roles and contributions that were assigned to each member para alam ko kung ano yung naging participation ng bawat isa. So, ang rule ng client natin, so yung TV commercial, which is your execution A, and your new media execution B must be different ideas. They will fall under the same communication message from your client brief, but they must have different angles, no? Uh, Hindi pwedeng yung new media version ay parang pinaiksing version lang nung TV commercial. Gets? So, iba ang audience sa new media kaya you have to think of a different uh, treatment, no? Kumbaga, and script. Kasi otherwise, parang ni-recycle mo lang yung nasa execution A. Otherwise, I wouldn't ask you to create execution A and B kung parehas lang din naman pala, parang pinaiksi mo lang. So, yun. Clear? Is that clear on you guys? No questions so far bago ako mag-proceed? Hello? Naririnig niyo ba ako? Parang walang sumasagot.
Yes, Pastor.
Okay. Naghihintay ako. Sabi ko, baka salita ako ng salita, walang nakakarinig. So, okay, ayan. So, again, just to differentiate paano sila nag-fit together. So, in your MA310, you have this single-minded idea plus message. The execution for MA107, you have the scripts and storyboards for those particular message. And then you have your one hero asset and three supporting executions. And then for MA107, you have the scripts and storyboards dung two of your video executions. So, I'm expecting na dito sa apat na executions ninyo sa MA310, at least dalawa dyan ang video execution. One is for traditional and another is for new media. Okay. And then, of course, you in MA 310 you have strategy, human insight, and then the role of the brand. Ang i-assess naman natin sa MA 107, since this is a writing course, is your craft in writing, as well as how you develop your story and shot design. Kasi syempre, in your scripts, there will also be instructions for particular shots. So, okay. So, paano ba natin masasabi na maganda yung ginawa ninyo? So, of course, you have one central idea that was already given by the client brief, but you have two distinct executions. So, one is for traditional, another is for new media. Uh, but they all fall under the same campaign thought, but they have their own specific angles or ideas. No? So, isang titingnan din natin yung tama yung script format. Alam naman ninyo na as we've discussed in the previous modules, two-column format, hindi screenplay format. It should be written for the medium. If it's for a TikTok video, probably a 15-seconder or up to you. And then for TV commercial, it could be a 45 or a 30-seconder, up to you as well. And then also the storyboards, they should be able to tell the story silently na kayang masundan kahit walang script. Magigets nila ano yung concept. So, and then also the tone should be, sabi nga, the right asim sarap, kumbaga. Kasi yun yung ating parang angle sa Datu Puti. So, but still speaking to millennial home cooks. Kasi nga, we want to veer away from it looking old. So again, your groups, I was given the list of groups for MA 310. So groups 1 to 6 in MA 310 will carry over as the groupings for MA 107. However, those students who are not enrolled in MA 310 will be in a separate independent group. No? So these are your groupings, no? So I think I noticed na merong students from section 2 and section 1 na magkakasama. So like group 1 and group 3. But there are others na like in group 4, si Kamba is not enrolled in MA 107. So hindi na siya kasama sa gigradean ko. No? So, and then this is your group 5 to 8. So, ang group 7 and 8 are the ones who are not enrolled in MA 310. So, the rule here is, mamaya ko na-explain. So, the pitch, again, ang magpe-present kayo ay kay Sir Jao Bautista during your finals panel on July 22nd, 1 to 4 p.m. And I will be joining that class as well. So, yun na yung magiging finals nyo na rin for MA 107. So, ano na, 'di ba? Ang saya, mas madali na sa inyo, guys. And then for the independent groups, groups 7 and 8, you will be presenting separately during our regular MA 107 session, which is on July 25th. So, please take note na lang dun sa mga group 7 and 8. So, and I think nasabi na ito sa inyo, no? So, the preferred flow ni Sir Jao for presentation. So, you have the brief, the research, strategy, the insight, the role of the brand, the creative idea, and then the executions. And then the defense of why is this a winning idea. Okay? So, I released the brief to you guys today, July 4th. So, we'll have group consultations probably on week 12 kasi week 13 yung last week, no? And then the submission of the deck is a day or a night before the joint panel session on July 22nd. Same as regardless kung group 7 or 8 ka, you will still also need to submit on July 21st. So, this is your rubric. Inalign ko na lang yung rubric sa rubric ninyo sa MA 310. The only difference is the first three criterion. So, yung presentation skills and punctuality, same rubric din yan as your finals for MA 310. But for MA 107, the ideation is for the idea, 20 points. script writing, 30 points, and then the storyboard and visual execution, 20 points, for a total of 100 points. And then reminders again before you submit, if you used AI in the process, please disclose them. But please note na you cannot use AI in your insight, strategy, final copy, and storyboards. All of those particular parts of your project should be original. And then fair use, you may use reference stills, copyrighted music, or competitor assets just for illustration. But always also note your sources. I-credit natin sila para hindi masabing nagnakaw tayo. Now, note na although this is a group work, you are graded individually. And that's why hinihingan ko kayo ng slide that identifies your specific roles and contributions. Okay? And then we will also have a peer evaluation para part of your grade will be based on your group mates' assessment of your performance. So if there are any questions, you may send a message on Canvas or you may book in this link. Any questions?
Sir, may message po yung isa.
Ito si Pauline. On-site po yung presentation on July 22nd. Yes, I believe so. Kasi pupunta si Sir Zhao. Any more? Wala na? Before we proceed to today's lecture.
Sir, question lang. Can you
Mhm.
upload na lang po yung presentation niyo po kami, yung present niyo po kanina just to balikan na lang yung instructions?
Yes, of course. This will be uploaded later.
Okay po, sir. Thank you po.
Okay. Asa na ba ako? Okay, so let's now proceed to today's lecture, no? If there are no more questions. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, so we're now on, yes? Sino yun? Did anyone call? Okay, parang wala yata. Okay. Anyway, I'll proceed now. So, we're now on week 10, which is on brand development. I think makakatulong din naman to sa MA 310 ninyo. Although originally this module is more helpful with the original final project niyo dito sa akin, which was a brand playbook, no? But okay. So, what is a brand actually, no? Kasi in previous terms, when I was discussing this, um, it was more of explaining a brand as an identity. Yung logo, um, yung name, etc. But uh, aligning with recent developments and new modern theories on branding. We want to now emphasize that a brand is not a logo, it's a gut feeling. So bakit natin sinasabing gut feeling? Kasi it's more than just what you see. It's also about what the public thinks about your brand. So, sabi dito ni Marty Neumayer, ang hirap naman basahin. Neumayer, Neumois, ayun, of the Brand Gap in 2003. He said that a brand is a person's gut feeling about a product, service, or organization. So kung ano yung, ah, kumbaga parang yung, instant, uh, thought that comes into your mind, or what feeling automatically comes to you whenever you think about a certain brand, then that is the brand of your, um, product or service, no? So ang punto natin dito, it's not a logo. A brand is not a logo, it is a perception. So hindi siya logo, hindi siya name, hindi siya product. When you say a logo, a name, and a product, those are brand signals. The brand itself is the perception na ginagawa or binubuo sa public ng mga signals na yon. So whatever your logo, name, and product is, uh, the perception that is created because of them, that's your brand. So, and in your public, kasama dyan yung customers, not just customers, but also even the employees, the investors of your company, and even the public. Sabi nga ni Jeff Bezos, you know Jeff Bezos? Sino siya? Sino ang mga nagbabasa at well updated sa current events? Well, okay. So tama si Julian, Amazon CEO. So Jeff Bezos is the CEO of Amazon. So let's look at it on different perspectives. No? So if it's brand versus product, sabi dito, a brand is what a company makes, but a brand is what the customer experiences and remembers. So kung gumagawa halimbawa ng cellphone ang Apple, yung mismong experience na yung sinasabi nila na mas smooth yung interface, mas luxurious siya versus Android, that's the brand, not the iPhone itself. Parang gano'n. In terms of marketing naman, sabi dito, marketing is the megaphone, but the brand is the message being amplified. In short, yung marketing, yung process of promoting the brand, but the brand is the message that's being sent to your audience, no? Uh, in terms of comparing it versus reputation, reputation is what people already believe, but branding is the deliberate attempt to shape it. So, minsan kasi may reputation naman talaga ang kahit anong bagay. Like, first impressions, di ba? Based on people's comments and uh, ideas that's shared with you. Pero the branding itself uh, is a conscious effort of trying to change that reputation in your mind. So, yun. So, and therefore, given that those are the differences between a brand and product marketing and reputation, if you're a writer, then your job is uh, not just about promoting a product, not just about marketing, not just about creating a reputation. It's uh, really managing the perception of the public towards all of those things. No? So, in terms of differentiating it versus branding, kasi syempre may brand and then mayroong branding. So, brand is your end result. So, it's the perception that's already created, that's being perpetuated in the minds of the people. Yung sinabi nating public, customers, investors, employees, yun yung end result na brand na nasa isip na nila. Pero yung ongoing process of creating, developing, managing that particular perception, not just in a particular period but over time, then that's branding, no? So kasama diyan yung mga strategies and actions, ayan. So therefore, brand, when you say brand, it's the end goal, it's the destination. But branding is the journey towards that destination. Okay? So, you have, uh, yung mga examples natin dito, no? You have Instagram captions, yung the mere replies to customer service inquiries, yung mga press release na nilalabas natin, all of those are acts of branding kasi it's an ongoing process of trying to manage and keep that perception you have uh, about your product or service. Ayan, ayun ang sinabi ko na. So, what are the types of branding? So, we have at least 8 so far. Dinagdagan ko na yan dati, 7 lang. So, first is the corporate. So, ang binabrand mo sa corporate branding is the overall identity of a company. You also have product branding, which is a single product. Kasi merong mga companies na merong multiple products, di ba? So, uh, if it's just a single product, then you're focusing on product branding. If it's a particular service experience, hindi siya physical product or object, then it's a service branding yung ginagawa mo. Kapag naman identity ng isang personality or individual, then that's personal branding. Kapag ito bago to, no? Kapag uh, you want to build an image of your company in terms of how your employees look at you or perceive you, then that's employer branding. Kapag naman ang binabrand mo ay isang bansa, mga tourism campaigns, 'di ba? Yung isang city, like isang region, then that's a place or destination branding, or in other words, geographic branding. And then you also have ingredient branding, yung mga component within a product. Yung hindi siya the product itself, but just a feature. Minsan yung certain features nagkakaroon siya ng sariling tagline, ganun. So that's an ingredient branding. And then you also have co-branding, wherein two brands are collaborating to build a new branding. So isa-isahin natin. So corporate branding, so ito yung emphasis is creating on a strong overall brand identity for a company. So pasok dito yung pag-build ng values, mission, public perception towards a company para magkaroon ng loyalty and trust among your customers. So ang best example natin would be Apple. So you also have product branding. This one focuses on building a distinctive identity for a specific product. So yung sabi nga natin kanina. So kung uh, yung specific na red can ng Coca-Cola, it's a distinct branding of the product. Yung check or yung swoosh na image ng Nike, 'di ba? It's very associated to its brand. So that's part of the product branding. For service branding, so ito yung mga companies that offer services and not products, no? So it highlights under service branding the experience and the quality of the service, 'di ba? So kung you're a hotel or you're an airline or ano pa bang mga certain services, 'di ba? Yung mga hospitals, 'di ba? Uh, mga restaurants, yan. So those are your examples of service brands that you want to communicate your reliability, the quality, the customer satisfaction of your service. No? So that's your service branding. For personal branding, ito nga sabi natin kanina, it involves building the unique identity of individuals. No? So it's common among artists, influencers, politicians, any public figure para mas madali silang ma-identify ng audience nila. So, interesting examples yung naging campaign before ni Obama, And then most recently, yung kay New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani, 'di ba? Very distinct and unique yung colors na pinili sa campaign niya. Then also yung mga album covers ni Taylor Swift, no? So those are some examples. For employer branding, this focuses on how the company is perceived as a place to work, no? So, ang involved talaga diyan ay mga employees, yung mga and even new recruits, no? So, what you do under employer branding is you communicate the culture of the company, the values, and the experience of the employees inside the company. So ang goal ng employer branding is for them to retain talent, number one, para hindi umalis yung mga workers. And then also to attract new talent para madali sila maka-hire na para sa kanila pumunta yung mga fresh graduates, gano'n. So this is very important for competitive industries. So examples are business process outsourcing kasi although uh, maraming pool of employees na pwedeng ma-hire, marami rin kasing mga BPO companies. So nag-aagawan sila for the best talent. And then you have the geographic branding or the place or destination branding. So it ties a brand to a specific location para i-promote yung tourism, yung local products, yung cultural experiences. Uh, so very, very helpful for tourism. So So in the Philippines, we have it's more fun in the Philippines, diba? So ayan. I think very self-explanatory and clear naman itong mga distinctions. Ito, ingredient, sorry, ingredient branding. No? Ito naman, distinct identity siya for a particular component of a product, not the entire product itself. So kaya itong mga nakikita niyong examples, these are just features of an entire product. Like when you say Intel Inside, that's the branding for its processor inside the computer, but not the entire computer. And then you have the Dolby Surround. Uh, you're not just you're not branding the entire cinema, you're not branding the entire phone, but you're branding that particular feature on audio, which is the Dolby surround sound, no? So clear ba yung distinction? Okay, now the last type of branding is what you call co-branding. So again, sabi ko nga, it's a collaboration between two or more brands to create a combined product or service. So, bakit siya ginagawa? Because both brands get to benefit from each of their own strengths, no? So, pag nag-collab sila, they're able to expand their market reach, which involves the audience and followers of each of their own market or fans, no? So, example dito yung collab between OnlyPants na t-shirt and Uniqlo. So, ayun siya. Okay. Any questions so far with, on our eight uh, types of branding?
None so far po.
Okay. So, puntahan natin yung iba-ibang steps kung paano nabubuo yung brand. So this is your brand creation process. So it starts first with a discovery or audit wherein you surface what's already true about the brand before inventing what's aspirational. No? And then you do your audience research kasi important na naiintindihan mo yung audience so that you can tailor your particular message towards that particular audience. No? And then you have the third step, uh, which is the strategic heart of the entire process, which is positioning. No, so under this, you are trying to look for a way to position your product or service or identity closer to your audience, no? Para mas maging, kumbaga, household name siya, para mas matanggap siya ng target audience mo, para bumili sila kung bibili sila or mag-avail sila ng service, or if you're a politician, para iboto ka nila. Ganun. And then the next is, of course, once you position yourself, identify where you want to position yourself, you can now start building your identity. And then after building your identity, you can now do the specific brand playbook. Yun yung supposed to be final project ninyo sa atin. And then once you have a guide under the playbook, you can now launch your specific assets. And after launching it, you still need to manage and measure it and adjust depending on the feedback. So sabi, ideally, you have to refresh your identity every 5 to 10 years. Kaya mapapansin ninyo, there are certain brands na every now and then nagpapalit ng logo, ng commercials, kasi kailangan in tune sila sa current trends and their audience profiles. So, okay. So puntahan natin yung positioning. So it's the single space you want to own in your customer's mind. So ang fill in the blank template according to Geoffrey Moore is this. For black, yung target, brand, blank is the blank or category, that blank or point of difference because blank or reason to believe. So yun yung parang template natin when we want to position the brand. So an example here is Jollibee. No? For busy Filipino families, Jollibee is the fast food chain that serves familiar, joyful comfort food because every dish is engineered to local taste. So yeah. So yeah. So that's how you position your brand. So let's look at some frameworks uh, or tools to think about your brand para mas madali nyo siyang ma-build yung positioning. So first is uh, the Acres brand identity model. So this was formulated by David Acker in the book Building Strong Brands in 1996. Sabi niya, a strong identity is built from four perspectives. And, because according to him, a brand is more than just a product. So ito yung apat na perspectives. So kung titignan mo lang ang brand as a product, what you have to look at are its attributes, quality, and uses. But if your brand is about an organization, you have to look at it from its culture, its values, or whether it's local or global. If it's a person, yung brand mo is a person, then you have to look at the personality and that person's relationship with customers or its audience. And if your brand is, you want to look at the brand as a symbol, then you have to look at it from the specifics like visual imagery, the metaphors that is used to compare your brand, and its heritage if it's a long-standing brand. Now, you have to remember, hindi kailangan na meron lahat nitong apat na perspectives na to for every brand. But the more it activates or the more you have each of these four, then the more robust your brand is according from to this model. Okay? Claro. Now, the second framework is from Keller's brand equity pyramid or what you call CBBE. So, ang gagawin mo naman under this framework is you have to build your brand from the bottom going up, no? One level at a time. So at the bottom is the salience, where you ask, Do they know you exist and in what category? So, yun pa lang yung baseline mo kumbaga. Alam ba nila na merong product or brand na katulad mo? And then once you answer that na yes, then you proceed to the second level, which is performance and imagery. What you do and what you stand for. So, magkaiba yon, yung functional and symbolic aspects. So, yung functional is the performance, symbolic is the imagery. Ibig sabihin, dapat nag-a-align din yan. Baka mamaya yung image mo, bait-baitan ka, pero yung performance is bad boy image, di ba? Hindi siya aligned. So that's something you have to build properly as well. Now, once you perfect that, the next level is the judgment and feelings. So ano ba yung gusto mong ma-conclude ng target market mo about your brand and what you want them to feel emotionally? Gusto mo bang whenever they think about your brand, they feel heartwarming or heartfelt or naiiyak? Or gusto mo ba na masaya sila? Or gusto mo ba na ah, kinikilig or na-excite sila? So it depends, no? Now, once you identify the types of emotions you want them to feel, the last level is resonance. So, nagre-resonate. Kumbaga may brand recall ka na, natatandaan na nila. And therefore, meron na silang loyalty and attachment. And alongside that, merong active na community na nabuo out of it. No? Okay? And then you have the third framework na this is more of a psychological aspect, no? Kasi you want to, when you are building, uh, what do you call this? When you are building your brand, you want to also connect it to a certain personality or archetype. So, merong mga ganitong archetypes that are common that you can use for your brand. And each of these archetypes, some of them fall under the same motivations. So kung ang gusto mo ay, for example, for the public to yearn for paradise, then you can use any of these three archetypes. Uh, so, halimbawa, you want them to be innocent. So, ang brand na close to that type of archetype is Dove and Coca-Cola, 'di ba? Ah, kapag sage naman, 'di ba, sage is something na all-knowing, 'di ba? Na parang magician. So therefore, examples would be Google and BBC, 'di ba? So yan, you can look at all of these examples and you can see na may particular personality archetypes that you can connect to your particular brand. Um, and then the fourth framework is what you call the golden circle from Simon Sinek. No? So, according to him, under this golden circle, there are three rings. And then, dapat daw, when you build your brand, you work from the inside going out. So, kasi ang common mistakes daw ng mga companies is they build their brands from the outside going in. Inuuna nila yung ano ba dapat yung ibenta natin? And then paano natin siya ibebenta? Pero hindi nila inuunang itanong, bakit ba natin siya gustong ibenta? So, ang sabi ni Simon Sinek, you have to start first with your purpose para mas matibay kung paano mo ipibuild itong how and what. And I think this is the reason why Apple is a strong brand. I think ang ginamit na example ni Simon Sinek was Apple because it first started with the why. And that was na they want to build a luxurious brand na something that any person would want to hold and use, not just it to be functional. Kaya 'di ba, nasa part of their core development of their products is um, the user experience. So, ayun, and that's why this is your golden circle. And then, of course, you have the last two frameworks in voice and differentiation. So under voice, of course, uh, you can place your brand on uh, four different sliders. So pwedeng it could be from funny to serious. Kumbaga, is your brand voice in between, or is it leaning towards funny, or is it leaning towards serious? Or is it leaning towards formal? Or is it leaning towards casual? Or is it in the middle? So ito yung pwede mong slider mo yung magiging voice ng brand. Another is if is it more respectful, or is it a little bit irreverent na parang bad boy tone? And then lastly, is it more enthusiastic or parang hopeful, or it's just matter of factly na fact-based talaga siya. So these are your different parang ano siya, um, tawag dun? Parang slider kumbaga na pwede mong i-move kung saan mo siya mas gustong mag-lean towards yung voice ng brand mo. So, the sabi dito, the same brand can move along a slider by context. Kapag may crisis, it could be more serious. Pag nasa TikTok, it could be funny. So, it doesn't have to mean uh, that uh, you have to stick to a certain personality lang the entire time. No? So, depending on the platform, you could also differentiate. And then also, still going back on Numayor's reference, no? Sabi niya, when everybody zigs, you have to zag. Ang point nung statement niyang yun is, kung ano yung ginagawa ng lahat, you have to do the opposite para daw manalo ka. So that's something. And that's why the sixth framework is all about differentiation. How do you differentiate yourself from the rest of your competition? So, that's something you have to consider when you are building your brand, as well as when you are conceptualizing your scripts for the finals. Halimbawa, parang kung lahat ng sabon promote yung, 'di ba, ganitong ginagawa, paano mo iibahin yung atake, 'di ba? So, that's something you have to also, or you can also consider. Okay, so I think let's have a break first before we proceed to the last part, which is uh the brand playbook. No? So I'll give you 5 minutes of break para sa mga gustong mag-CR muna, and then we'll proceed. Okay, I think 5 minutes na ba? Is everyone here? Can you raise your hands just so I can see kung sino ang buhay pa?
Hi sir, medyo matagal lang yung internet. Nasa campus po ako.
I see. Nandito din ako ngayon. Ma anyway, so far maayos naman yung connection ko, I think. Okay. Okay, so let's now go to the brand playbook. So this is where the strategy gets written down. No? So kanina pinag-usapan natin ano yung strategy. So okay. So a brand playbook, or also known as a brand book or a brand guidelines or a brand bible. So it captures everything about your brand and its visual identity in one document. So if you remember yung process natin kanina, saan ba yun? So it is on step 5 of the brand creation process. So why it earns its keep? So sabi, it it is organized. So nandun lahat in one place yung goals, yung values and look ng iyong brand. It's consistent because it feels the same whether it's online, in store and in ads. So kapag sinusunod ng maayos ang isang brand playbook, ganun yung nagiging um, impact na consistent yung brand mo wherever it is. Uh, and then there's an easy reference, whether it's for internal teams or for external partners. Na mas madali nilang, uh, halimbawa, if they're going to use your brand, your logo, alam nila kung ano yung rules on how to use it properly para hindi magkamali. So, and then this can also be used as an onboarding tool for new employees. Kasi mas naiintindihan nila ano yung brand. Kasi nandun din sa brand playbook yung vision and mission ng company, brand, etc. So, kapag wala daw playbook, magulo yung identity ng brand mo. And therefore, within 6 months of launching a brand, ligwak na yan kasi ang gulo. Ang gulo-gulo ng branding. Okay. So what is inside the playbook? So it has your story, the brand story, which includes the origin, the mission, the vision, and the values. It should also have a positioning statement and a brand promise, plus 3 to 5 brand pillars. You can also identify personas of your audience para mas madaling maintindihan kung paano mo i-tailor yung messaging. And then you can also have the archetypes and personalities of your brand, isang primary at isang secondary. Para makita, okay, anong archetype yung gagamitin natin for this commercial? Parang ganun siya. And then you have the voice and tone. You have a voice chart, which includes the do's and don'ts. So yung do's and don'ts is ano yung hindi pwedeng sabihin, ano yung pwedeng sabihin. Like, hindi ka pwedeng magmura, ganyan, because you are a formal brand. Or hindi mo pwedeng gamitin ang term na Middle East kasi it's a very Western term. The proper term should be Central Asia. Parang ganon. If you're a very Asia-centric organization na ayaw nyo ng colonial mindset. So may mga ganon, no? So depende sa ano yung positioning ng company or ng brand. You also have the visual identity, which includes yung binanggit natin kanina, mga signals, the logo, the colors, the typography, and the imagery. So ito klaro to ano yung font, ano yung gagamitin, yung imagery, what particular images or types of images you can use. Is it more landscape? Is it more people focused? So depende. And then the application and governance. So application, ano yung mga templates available, and then governance, sino ang dapat na mag-approve ng mga certain brand usage examples. So, some examples of household brands sa Pilipinas and ano yung mga archetypes na ginagamit nila. No? So, for example, Jollibee, it's more on everyman and lover. Yan. San Miguel is more everyman and ruler. Diba? Bench is more of a lover. Globe is more of a magician and creator. BDO is a caregiver and a sage. So, yan, mapapansin ninyo na each of them are leaning towards certain archetypes to build or to continue developing their identity. So, in the past 2 years, ano ba yung nagbago sa branding? So, so sabi dito, nag-start mag-flatten ng mga logo yung mga brands into plain sans serifs. Kasi I think 10 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, nauso yung mga visual style na very glossy or very shiny, yung mga logos, yung meron siyang mga sheen, yung meron siyang mga kintab, if you remember those era years ago. But now, parang minimalist style na ang karamihan, na flat-styled, tapos wala na mga kintab-kintab, gano'n. So, yun yung trend for most logos or brands nowadays. Thea, are you raising your hand? Parang nakataas ng kamay si Win at saka si Irish din. Okay, hindi ba kayo nagtataas ng kamay? Anyway, so going back, no? So there are now, again, given the advent of AI, no? So meron na ring mga AI-generated identities. So for example, in 2024, nagkaroon ng AI-generated ad ang Coca-Cola, na naulit pa in 2025. So medyo nagkakaroon siya ng negative feedback from the audience. No? So, and then there's also what you call vibe-led branding for Gen Z. No? Familiar ba kayo dito? Like yung Liquid Death, yung Poppy. Actually, hindi ako familiar sa mga ito. Kasi these are modern approaches, no, na it focuses on creating an emotion, an energy, an atmosphere instead of explicitly promoting specific products. So, parang ano ba? Yun, it's basically selling a vibe instead of a product. Ganun siya. So, in terms of personal brand, ito din, nagiging primary asset na rin siya for individuals. So, marami ng mga personalities na nagkakaroon ng sariling Substack blog. Automatic, kailangan may LinkedIn profile sila, etc. So, so ito yung mga current trends in terms of personal branding. Okay, so tingnan natin ngayon yung example of a brand playbook and its components. So, I think, ito na pala yung naulit yata yung slides ko. Pero ito yun. Puntahan natin yung specific components. Ayan, ito. So, ang gagamitin nating example is the Trofosa Art Villa na brand playbook. So, sabi ang unang basic content is the brand introduction. So, ang nasa brand introduction ay yung overview of the brand, which includes a summary of the brand, its history, its purpose. So, para mas maintindihan kung ano yung position ng brand na yun and what differentiates it from its competitors. And then also part of the brand introduction are the mission and vision. So when you say mission, it's the core purpose. Vision is the long-term aspiration. So, na-try nyo na ba magsulat ng mission vision before? I think may mga ganong assignment dati eh. Kung na kung sa inyo may ganon din. Wala? Okay. So, tingnan natin yung example ng brand introduction ng Trofosa. So, ito yung sinulat niyang overview, no? So, sabi niya, we believe that creativity thrives in an environment of tranquility and inspiration. We are more than just a retreat. We champion inspiration. We nurture creativity. We value connection. We celebrate art. So, welcome to Trofosa Art Villas. So, ang mission niya is to provide a tranquil and inspiring sanctuary where artists and art enthusiasts can rejuvenate their creative spirits and connect with nature and each other. So, just by reading the mission, nagiging klaro na sa'yo na it's not just an ordinary villa or resort. It's really an art-focused haven. So sa vision naman nila, ang vision is their long-term aspiration. Sabi niya, we envision a vibrant community of artists who collaborate and showcase their works, transforming our villa into a dynamic canvas of evolving artistic expression. So yun yung long-term goal nila na in the future, ganun na dapat yung mangyayari sa Trofosa. Now, the next part is the brand persona. So, under the brand persona, kasama dun yung core values, which are the beliefs and principles guiding the brand. And then you also have the personality traits. So, you are going to describe the human-like qualities that you want to attribute to your brand. So, tingnan natin yung example. So, ang core values ay they believe in creativity, of course. It's an art villa. We believe in inspiration. So, syempre, when you go to a resort, syempre, you want a different atmosphere. Kaya ka pumupunta dyan eh. So, kapag nandun ka, you gain inspiration. And then we believe in relaxation. So, of course, since it's still a villa, we believe in community. So, yun yung parang long-term aspiration nila, di ba? And we believe in authenticity. So, ang personality naman nila, yung mga traits na ginagamit nila or the traits that guide how they write their scripts, their captions, their social media posts, eto yun. So, the personality is we are inspirational, we are authentic, we are empathetic, we are encouraging, and we are inclusive. So, it's really all close to the identity of it being a community and a haven for artists. Next component is the brand tonality. So dito mapasok yung voice and language style in terms of how you should communicate your brand, whether it should be formal, should it be casual, should it be playful or authoritative. So regardless kung anong piliin mo, you have to be consistent. Because if your voice and style is consistent, it will help reinforce and strengthen the identity of your brand. Kasi kung paiba-iba ng tono yung brand mo, hirap associate yung brand mo at matandaan ng audience. No? And then dito din pinapasok sa brand tonality yung mga do's and don'ts na mga hindi mo pwedeng sabihin at mga pwede mo ring sabihin. So these are some examples. So ang brand voice daw dapat ng Trofosa is friendly and approachable, encouraging and motivational, calm and serene, authentic and genuine. So, 'di ba parang all of these adjectives are leaning towards the identity of Trofosa as a resort, but also as a community and an art haven. No? So language style, it should be positive and uplifting. It should be simple and clear, and it should be descriptive and evocative. So, kasi ito naman yung mga examples nila ng do's and don'ts. No? So kung sinasabi na dapat warm and inviting ka, ganito mo dapat siya isulat. So, ano ang opposite ng warm and inviting? Cold and formal. So, hindi dapat ganito ka makipag-communicate sa audience mo. So, same goes with having simple and clear language versus complex and jargons. And then also maintaining a calm and serene tone. Kasi gusto mo nga ma-imbibe na it's a relaxing place, no? So, your tone should not be overly dramatic and exaggerative. Next component is the visual identity. Kasama dito yung color palette na dapat ay consistent palagi para laging ma-associate at matatandaan yung identity mo or yung brand mo pag naalala nila yung color combination na to. And then also the logo usage. Kasama na dyan yung mga bawal gawin dun sa logo at kung ano lang yung extent na pwedeng gawin sa kanya. Same goes with typography. Ano lang yung mga fonts na pwedeng gamitin at kung hanggang saan lang siya pwedeng gamitin. So let's look at the example. So for the color palette of Trofosa, the primary colors are warm taupe and soft beige. Yung pang-accent naman niya, golden sand and dusty rose. And if you look at the descriptions, may reason bakit yun yung pinili. Kasi may meaning behind each color. And then the darker shades naman na gagamitin ay charcoal gray and deep terracotta. So ito ang explanation niya dito. The colors chosen for Trofosa Art Villas are integral to conveying the brand's identity and creating an environment that inspires creativity and relaxation. So this palette has been carefully selected to reflect the natural beauty, cultural richness, and serene atmosphere of the villa. So, di ba? Carefully selected yung colors para it's more leaning towards nature. It's also leaning towards culture and also on the serene atmosphere. So nakalagay din ano yung specific code for each color para madali na lang kapag when you design. And then ito yung logo nila. So, naka-explain din yung meaning behind the logo as well as the colors chosen. So ito yung mga tamang paggamit on certain backgrounds. And then meron din yung mga violations or variations, sorry. And then also yung violations. Ito yung mga hindi dapat gawin. Hindi pwedeng i-distort, hindi pwedeng lagyan ng shadow, hindi pwedeng ibahin ng kulay, hindi pwedeng lagyan ng stroke. So yan, pwede kayong maggawa ng mga ganyang rules para hindi magkamali sa paggamit. And then ito yung pinili nilang typography. For the headlines, it's DM serif, and for the body, it's Avenir. So next is the visual application. So papakita mo dito yung mga sample mock-ups kung ano ang itsura ng brand identity mo kapag ginamit siya sa certain merchandise, kapag pinost siya sa social media, at kapag nakaprint siya sa mga certain print materials. So these are the examples from Trofosa. So ito yung itsura niya kapag sa isang business card, kapag nasa mga bath towels, yan. Siyempre, since it's a resort, important na may mga towels for the guests. And then they also have tote bags and even t-shirts. Yan. Ito naman siya kapag naka-post sa social media. So nakikita nyo, consistent yung color palette and then even the colors of the chosen images. And then if you notice then, yung tone that they're using in their captions as well. So for imagery, dito din nakalagay yung mga certain styles and examples. So maglalagay ka ng mga pec and references na pwede nilang gayahin for content creation of your brand. So these are some examples. So for Trofosa, sabi niya, kailangan it should evoke a sense of creativity, inspiration, and relaxations, and therefore the image should capture the essence of a serene retreat. So ganyan, parang mukhang relaxing talaga dapat. It should be atmospheric and warm. So dapat kapag kinukunan daw yung place, dapat warm yung lighting. So pipiliin mo lang din yung oras within the day to best capture that particular atmosphere. And then also, since it's an art villa, you also have to showcase the architecture, di ba? Yung kung paano dinesign yung mga cottage, etc. And then also, since part of their vision is to be a community, di ba, for artists, then syempre dapat may i-highlight ka rin mga activities featuring those artists. So, ito yun. And then next is the brand strategy. So, dito naka-identify sino yung target audience, including their specific demographics, interests, and needs, and the relevant channels kung saang platforms kayo usually makikita as a brand. So ito yung brand strategy ng Trofosa. So ang primary audience nila are seasoned artists and musicians. And then secondary nila, ay di pala, kasama rin pala ito sa primary, yung art enthusiasts din. And then their secondary are travel enthusiasts na not necessarily artists but appreciate art, friends and families who are vacationing, as well as event planners kasi they also host events in the art villa. Now, their platforms or promotional channels, they have social media, they engage with content creators, they have PR publishers, and also they are available on Airbnb. For social media, they are also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Tapos ito naman yung mga content creator profiles that they would like to target para mag-create ng media for them. So artists, musicians, travel and lifestyle creators, and parent creators. Okay. Questions about this particular module on brand development?
Wala naman po, sir.
Tingin nyo, paano nyo ito magagamit sa MA 310 finals nyo? Nag-raise ka ba ng hand, Win? Hindi pa din. Anyone? Kasi ang final project nyo is an integrated marketing campaign. So how do you now integrate this particular lesson in developing that to Puti as a brand or as in a campaign? Baka pwede mag-share yung mga meron ng na-develop na ideas for their group. Wala? Maybe I can call particular representative. So, sa group 1, sa grupo ni Fame, ni Ron, ni Jeff, ni Jazz, and ni Aleli, what do you think is the relevance of brand development or branding in your particular campaign?
Sir,
Yes? Is that Jazz?
yes po.
Okay, what do you think?
Um, ah, di po namin napag-usapan yung plans namin po.
Ah, wala pa. Hala, 3 weeks na lang.
I know.
Okay, and then, so what do you think initially based on what you've heard?
Ah,
Like, given the importance of uh, branding in any campaign, paano mo ngayon siya i-integrate or isasama sa pagpaplano ng ideas ninyo for your campaign?
wait, kami nasagot yung tanong niyo po. Sorry.
Sige, sige. Any other representative from your group, perhaps? Si Ron, meron ka ba sasabihin?
Hi, sir. Wala naman
Yes?
po.
Wala rin? Ano ba yan? Sige. Sa group 2, sina James, Cassie, JC, Julian, Alexi. Any thoughts? Have you started developing your finals for MA310? Kasi tinanong
Yes.
niyo na ako about it last week so I assume you've been planning. Yes? Sino yun? Si Cassie
Yeah,
ba yun?
we've been discussing, what's this? Kasi we assigned ourselves to create our own ideas, and then my group mates are already like combining yung mga ideas namin kasi may overlap po.
Yeah. But my question is, do you already have an idea what the branding of Datu Puti is? Kasi it's a product ha, it's not, kasi Datu Puti is just one of the many products under NutriAsia, if I'm not mistaken. No? So if it's just a product brand, do you have the brand playbook of Datu Puti para mag-guide kayo in your integrated marketing campaign ideation? Wala, hindi kayo nanghingi kay Ma'am Nani? Julian?
We did our research naman po.
Nag-research kayo. So,
Yeah.
since you did your research, ano yung nakita ninyo regarding the branding of Datu Puti?
Actually, I went through a lot of their video TVCs, and I noticed that Dato Puti tends to be a more masculine leaning brand because it collaborates with Manny Pacquiao and other prominent male actors often. However, during the 2010s, nag-shift talaga sila to being more family friendly by creating ad campaigns that show families, couples. Actually, they had a very popular ad campaign, yung Oyo and Vin, yung pang love story. And what we noticed about it, kasi what is Silver Swan is also under that, is also under NutriAsia. But the thing about that though is Silver Swan tends to stick to the basics, while Dato Puti likes to expound and experiment on their base products. Like they have Toyo and Suka, just like Silver Swan. However, yung suka, it deviates by creating its own variations with spices. And then the toyo, it has its own toyo blends. So, mas experimental siya na,
Mm.
what's this condiment brand.
Mm. Yeah, those are interesting insights. I like how you phrased it na you noticed in the earlier years na they're focusing on ads that are more male-centered. And I probably think that's connected with the brand name itself, na Datu Puti. Datu nga eh, di ba? It's a male title and position. And probably they're realizing now that the actual customers who buy these products are mothers, 'di ba? Not just mothers but families, 'di ba? Households, hindi mga lalaki, and therefore you have to veer away from that particular branding into this new positioning. So, 'di ba? Considering the concept of branding, there you have to adjust and align yourself with the changing times and still in connection with your proper audience research. So yun, I think important din na aralin ninyo kasi yung nandun sa brief lang was millennial home cooks. Pero what in particular, ano ba ang personality ng isang millennial home cook? 'Di ba? Parang should it involve only the professionals or do you involve also those who are ano ba yung tawag dun, yung mga unemployed or underemployed or living with parents? Ano yung tawag dun? NEET ba yun? NEET ba yun or something? Parang gano'n, di ba? So, those are something that you have to consider kasi important din muna yung audience research para ma-properly conceptualize ninyo yung inyong integrated marketing campaign. But anyway, so thank you for sharing. Sa group 3, how about you guys? Si Joyce, si Dale, si JD, at si Nicole. Anyone here? Okay. Sige, so go. Go, Nicole. Take care. Tapos naman na yung lecture, so you can focus on your event na. Ingat. Okay, yung ibang kagrupo ni Nicole, nandito pa ba? Si Dale tsaka si Joyce?
Hello po, sir.
Hello, yes.
So far po, wala pa po kaming concrete plan. Nasa brainstorming phase pa lang po kami due to availability po ng mga kagrupo naman.
Mm.
Pero I think po yung lesson po na to will help us better understand kung ano po since all around pa po yung ideas po namin, parang this lesson po will help us better understand yung brand po na
Mm.
hanapin po namin like kung ano po yung what's the brand stands for po, parang ganun. Ayun
Pero
po, sir.
ikaw personally have you researched about it already? And what have you read so far about your client?
Yung brand po, di ko po masyadong na-research, pero yung ideas po naman is more nag-ano pa sa target market po namin, which is yung millennials po. Since medyo nasa older side po yung target market po namin, ano po, since wala pa po napag-usapan, yung side ko po is mag-focus po more on a traditional side, like something po na makaka-relate po yung mga target market po namin rather than sa social medias, something po na ganun.
Pero millennials are also very active online naman. And the brief says na you don't want the brand or the product to look old. Kaya you're trying to target the millennials kasi they're younger than the boomers and the Gen Xers, diba? So, I think that's a balance that you have to look at as well.
Okay, noted po,
Ayun.
sir.
Pero yun. Thank you for sharing. How about group 4? Sila Jella, si Kira, si Flo, si Nikki, and your other classmate na hindi dito sa klaseng 'to, si Kamba. Any updates on
Hello
your
po.
end? Hello.
Hello.
Sino yun? Si Kira ba yun?
Opo.
Hello po, sir.
Okay.
Yung nagawa po namin, nag-research po kami on the products ni Dato Puti po. And then when we checked on sa Dato Puti vinegar, when we research upon it po, when coming up with the clear message in the insights po namin, we uh, hindi pa po siya final pero we tried coming up with keywords po and then mind mapping them po so we have more of a clear um, idea on how we would present our messages po or a big message for the campaign.
Pero what's something that caught your attention in your research, in particular regarding that to puti vinegar? I wonder. Is there
Yung,
something that caught your attention?
hala sir, baka magka-idea yung iba. Hindi, joke lang. Baka hindi, joke lang. Ano, um, kasi sir, tagang we're looking at yung uses ng suka. Kasi yung pagiging versatile niya and yung mostly sa food. Since yung Filipino culture, food, and yung use ng suka. I don't wanna give too much.
Yeah. Okay, gets. Kaya pala ang tipid ninyo magsisagot. Oo nga, no? Now I realize it's a competition. Because you have 8 groups vying for the yes of your client, si Sir Jao. No?
Yes
So,
po.
anyway, okay. Thank you for sharing.
Okay po. Thank you, sir.
Okay, how about yung group ni CJ, ni Win, ni Pierre, ni Ivan, and ni Munar na hindi nyo kaklase dito? Anyone from your group? CJ, are you there? Or si Win? Okay. Medyo laggy on my end. Okay, sabi ni CJ. How about your group mates? Wala? Wala kayong update? Okay, sige. Lastly na lang, yung group 6. Sila Faye, si Pauline, si Ivan, si Kiana, si Jude. Any updates on your end? Okay, while waiting for that group 6, sabi ni Pierre, starting pa lang po sa research for group 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, may 3 weeks pa naman kayo, pero okay, so sabi ni Pauline, so far po may research and concept na po na na-develop. Uy, ang bilis ha, may concept na kayo. Fairness ha. Tas ayaw nyo ring i-share kasi baka gayahin. Pero if there's something that you can share, meron ba? Any particular detail na feeling nyo naman, not giving too much, but it gives a little idea. In one word siguro, how would you describe your concept? Wala? Ba yan? Kanina pa ako naghihintay dito, oh. Okay, sabi ni Pauline, parang trendy na modern. Okay. Okay. Pwede. Sige, let's wait. Excited ako actually kasi this is the first time I'm collabing with another subject. So, I look forward to seeing your outputs. Masaya ba kayo? Parang walang nagte-thank you sa akin na in-effortan kong mag-reach out kay Miss Nani eh. Okay ba na inalign na natin yung outputs ninyo para hindi kayo mahirapan?
Okay na yun, sir, para ano, pa
Para ano?
bawas ang gawa po.
Yeah, 'di ba? Parang kasi syempre gusto din naman naming mapadali ang trabaho ninyo and at the same time, part din naman ng thrust ng school yung mga ganitong cross anong tawag dito? Cross-subject collaborations, eh. And hopefully, I think baka puwede itong, ma-submit as an entry somewhere, 'di ba? Baka mahanapan ng masalihang contest, yun. So, siyempre mag-a-identify din tayo ng mga best works, kumbaga. Anyway, so if there are no questions regarding this, we can end this session. And please wait for me to upload the deck as well as the final project brief. No? So, and again, reminder sa mga hindi pa nag-fulfill ng or nag-fill out ng faculty evaluation form, please fill it out as soon as possible para ma-upload ko na yung mga deck from the previous modules as well. Kasi so far, yung mga recordings pa lang ang available. Okay, so thank you everyone and have a nice weekend.
Bye,
Excuse me, sir. Pwede
sir.
po magpa-attendance, sir.
Oo nga pala, no? Teka, matatawag muna ako pala. Teka, tatawagin ko muna yung pangalan ninyo, ha? Is Brian here pa?
Present po.
Si Ralph?
Present? Ako ba?
Ah.
Agyos?
Opo, oo. Sino pa? Si Pauline Asuncion? Okay, kang hirap mag-manage. Ayan, okay. James Balute? Is James still here? Yun, okay. Sino pa? Si Cassie Bautista? Okay, present. Felix Buna? Okay. Thea Cabato, nandito na ba? Wala, absent talaga si Thea. Si CJ Kalalek, I think I saw him. Is he here? Ayan, okay. Si Jella Karaan?
Present po.
Okay. Irish Castello?
Present, sir.
Ayan. JC Daniel? Okay. Win Enriquez?
Present.
Ayan. Si Joyce Garfin? Is Joyce still here?
Sir,
Yes?
may question pala po.
Okay.
Yung groupings po ba yung sa branding na po namin?
Yes.
Okay.
Pinakita
Thank you, sir.
ko kanina. Were you able to capture it kanina?
Nag-CR po ako kanina, sir. Hindi
Ah,
ko
okay.
na-capture.
Okay. And then Julian Innumerable. Ay, nawala na yata siya nung nag-goodbye ako. Anyway, Ivan Havilio, is he here?
Present po.
Ayun. Alexi Lanuza. Okay. Dale Lazaro.
Present, sir.
Ayan. JD Mendiola, I think nagsabi siya na hindi siya talaga makakonect. Kira Mercado.
Yes, sir.
Ayan. Flo Nuali.
Present po.
Ayan. Pierre Obispo.
Present, sir.
Yun. Kiana Panganiban. Ayan. Ron Raffles. Ayan.
Present, sir.
Ayan. And then Jude Reyes. Kasi Jude. Kita ko siya kanina. Anyway, wala na siya. Si Ivan Santos.
Present po, sir.
Ayan. Nicole Season. Ay, nag-leave na pala siya kanina. Nagpaalam. Si Jeff Tayag. Ayan. Jazz Tebelin.
Present po, sir.
Ida Venluan.
Present po, sir.
Ayan. And then si Nikki Yu, absent na talaga. Okay. Ayun. Thank you everyone and have a nice weekend.
Thank you, sir. Gagawin ko pa lang pa yung
Sir.
quiz.
Sige.